a child. Take care of your inner child. Because we diving deep, we're working on ourselves and healing our inner child. My journal's getting full, y'all. I've been really doing a lot of self-work. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another Suonnah Self Care Sunday episode 4. We are 4 episodes in. Hopefully you guys have been loving season 3 of Suonnah Self Care Sunday, because I sure have been loving it. This season I've been way more heartfelt, way more sharing, my insecurities, fears, and just really diving into furthering my self-care journey and bring you guys along. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying it. In today's episode, we're going to be talking all about healing our inner child. More specifically, I'm going to be sharing how I've been healing my inner child / bettering myself and making sure my inner child is happy and content. So I'm going to share kind of like my process with you guys, and hopefully you guys can heal your inner child. Your inner child needs to be happy and content, because that's still a part of you that you do not want to just shove down, It's a child. Take care of your inner child. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Bye-bye. All right, so let's begin. Made me start the process of healing my inner child was through therapy. I realized that I always felt so torn inside. I always felt like I was tugged between two things. And through therapy, I realized that it was my inner child and my inner adult fighting. They both didn't have a place, and I just kind of shoved them both down, deep down, and I realized I really got to work on that. So I basically made a list of the things that my inner child wants and my adult self wants, and I started to work on them and make sure that they're both happy. And I'll give you a few things on the list. My inner child wanted to do more fun things. I feel like I focused so much on school and work and all these other adult things, but I literally did not give any type of space for my inner child to be free and happy. As for my adult self, I wanted to become more independent. I wanted to be self-sufficient and work on my passions, find hobbies. So I was able to kind of sit down with my list and realize, okay, what do they want and how can I provide for them, as they are a part of me that I want to, make sure that they're good and they're happy, to become a better version of myself. Especially this year, I worked to better myself. So when it comes to my inner child, I started developing more hobbies, and I have a whole episode on the different hobbies, which I'll explain more later. When it comes to my adult self, there's a lot of things that I pushed to the side, like my fears of working and driving. Those things, I feel like it held back my adult self from thriving. I just came from my driving class. My instructor was very sweet. I love him, and I actually feel like I could learn how to freaking drive, guys. And I feel like last episode I worked on my fear of driving, working, and I feel like I'm in a better place when it comes to my inner child and my adult self. So I feel like I've been really putting my eggs in different baskets and making sure that I'm working on little aspects to make my inner child happy, adult self happy, and me happy. That's one thing that I feel like really helped me figure out that I wanted to work on my inner child, was just figuring out, what does my inner child want, what does my adult self want, and what do I want, and then being able to work on it. So I feel like writing lists really help, and just writing things down, which I'll talk a little bit more about journaling. But yeah, second thing that really, really helped me, and this exercise can really help you figure out what your inner child wants, is actually writing a letter to your inner child. This was an exercise that my therapist gave me because I wanted to figure out what my inner child wanted or what would come up for me, and writing a letter to her was really helpful. The exercise was myself as a 21-year-old is writing to my inner child or my child self, and then I wrote that with my dominant hand. Then with my left hand, which is my non-dominant hand, I wrote my inner child self talking to me. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Basically, I wrote to my inner child or my younger self, and then I wrote a letter as if my younger self was talking to me. And I was able to see what would come up for me, what were the feelings that I wanted to work on. And I actually wanted to share the letter with you guys because we dive in deep, we're working on ourselves and healing our inner child. So I actually have it in my journal. My journal's getting full, y'all. I've been really doing a lot of self-work. So basically, I wrote to my 12-year-old self. Especially when I was 12 years old, I went through a lot of changes, and I feel like I was going through it. I obviously had a really good childhood. Bless my mom and my family for blessing my childhood. But obviously, there are some things you can work on. So the first letter is me talking to my 12-year-old self, and then the second letter is my 12-year-old self talking to my 21-year-old self, which is kind of cool because like 12, 21, you know? Anyways, I'm going to read it for you guys. So I wrote, "Dear 12-year-old me, I know you would be so happy to see where I'm at. I know part of you knew I'd make it and another part no. I've graduated both primary, high school, and university. I finally started the YouTube channel you've always wanted to, but was scared to. I found genuine friends. Can you believe it? Know how lonely and sad you felt having no genuine friends? I have a best friend that is literally my soul sister. Don't get me wrong, I went through a lot and so did you, but we got through it and we're stronger for it. I'm emotionally, spiritually, physically stronger. I have a toolbox that I have built to help and support me through anything. I'm here to say thank you for your strength and to tell you that I've grown to be the adult self you've always wanted us to be. You've always wanted us to be going for our dreams, healthy, emotionally stable. Love, Suonnah." So clearly, writing this to my 12-year-old self, I realized that I was always a kid that pushed through the pain and never really felt my emotions. And I really pushed through it, which is a good thing. And I acknowledge my strength, but I also acknowledge my 12-year-old emotion that felt kind of lonely. Like I had friends, but I just didn't feel like I had genuine friends that I felt connected with. So it made me feel kind of lonely, especially that I was an only child. So I acknowledge how my 12-year-old self in that moment. And I feel like that's a part of healing your inner child, is just being self-compassionate and being compassionate towards your inner self and acknowledging all their emotions. So that was the letter I wrote to my 12-year-old self. And then this letter was my 12-year-old self talking to me. It's very complicated to explain, but as you can see, the writing is not as good because I tried to write with my left hand. At one point I gave up because it was way too hard. But anyways, so this is my 12-year-old self talking to me, the 21-year-old self. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, dear 12, wait, what? My writing's a little weird because I wrote with my left hand. Anyways, dear 21-year-old me, I find myself so mature for my age and feel so lonely not having anyone to share my life, hopes, and dreams. Are you happy? Did you find friends? I sure hope so. I feel that I have so much potential and nowhere to display, use, or show it. I'm in a house full of people that I don't really feel connected with except for my mom, and I feel in a weird limbo, forcing myself to get through life to hopefully get to a brighter place. I do find myself trying to enjoy the good, but I hope you don't have to force like I do. Please do what you want and be free. I hope everything I went through isn't for nothing. I know we can do it, and I hope it gets smoother. Love, Suonnah. So writing this, I feel like I figured out that I was always pushing through things and not acknowledging my emotions and confronting people that hurt me. And I feel like I'm so much better at that through therapy and working and communicating way better. I cut off toxic friends. I have a better acknowledgement of my self-worth. And I feel like I didn't have that when I was younger. Obviously, I was a little child. But I feel like that's what came up for me. And I've been working on that, being more confident, being more self-aware, being able to say no, stopping myself from being a people pleaser. So through this kind of letter work, I was able to kind of see how my younger self felt, how I feel now, and see the growth, but also see where I can work on, or see what I can work on. And that exercise was really eye-opening, and it made me feel so empowered and so proud of myself for what I've been through, but also I can see the potential, because from my 12-year-old self to now, I've grown so much. So imagine in 20 years from now, 30 years from now. So I'm very excited that I did I'm very happy that I did that exercise because I was really able to really dive into the work and see what my inner child wants/needs. And I'm very happy about that. The next thing that I feel like really helped me heal my inner child was just being more compassionate towards myself and my feelings and giving space to breathe and feel my emotions, because I feel like I would just push down any negative emotion. I would just let it bottle up inside. And I feel like me, my inner child, my adult self were just not happy because I was bottling everything. So being more compassionate towards myself and allowing myself to breathe and feel my emotions has really helped. And I'm much better mentally and emotionally and physically. So we love to see it. The next thing, which I had a whole video on it, was hobbies. Hobbies have really helped me. My inner child is glowing when I do these different hobbies. And the main ones that really make my inner child happy are doing Legos. I love building different Legos. You guys know I have a whole Lego collection of different little sets, and I want to hopefully build a whole town. When I was little, I actually didn't really do Legos, but my inner child is so happy because it's so fun, it's so tactile, it's so easy, and they're so cute, and my inner child is just is so happy. And I feel like, I don't know, it's such a fun activity, and I feel like I spend a lot of my life not having as much fun. I still had fun, but I feel like I didn't like purposely try to do fun activities. And I feel like doing it now made my inner child super happy. Also reading graphic novels. I forgot how much I loved first reading. I used to read so much, but school kind of made me read less. So I got into reading more, and I've been trying to find all the books that I used to read when I was a kid. Like all the books from Raina Telgemeier I used to read when I was a little. The Bone series I used to read when I was little. So all those different books, all the Scholastic books. Oh, do y'all remember the Scholastic pamphlets? And when you had to order stuff, I love that shit. So I feel like I really tried to find the little things that I used to love as a kid and do them now, which gives me such a more appreciation for them, but also it's just hella fun. So Legos or reading graphic novels, especially the ones that I used to read as a kid, it just kind of brings back good memories, and it's just so much fun. And then puzzles, that's actually, I don't think I did as much puzzles when I was younger, but it's just so fun, so relaxing, and my inner child's just so happy to be doing something fun and doing a nice activity, and that isn't stressful. And then the last one is just watching movies. I used to go to the movie theater with my mom like almost every Tuesday because it was like half off, and I've just been loving watching movies, going to the movie theater. Last week I went to the movie theater with my best friend, and we watched the new Thor movie, which was Chef's Kiss. So yeah, doing fun activities that are just fun. Doing activities that I used to do as a kid really helped my inner child just like have a space to be free, to have fun. And I think that really helped my inner child just have a light and be free. And it's also just so much fun. We love to see it. The next thing is just reassuring my inner child. If my inner child is feeling sad or happy or whatever, just acknowledging that the child is there and needs a space too, and reassuring her that, hey, I know what you went through and you are okay, you are awesome, you are great. And that reassures my inner child, but also reassures me of being proud of what I went through, and being proud of myself is so good. And I think reassuring her and letting her be free and giving a space for her to do what she wants is so good for your inner child. Next thing that really helped me was actually meditations. There are many YouTube videos and like YouTube meditations on healing your inner child. The one that I did was actually in a book. And basically the meditation was to like close your eyes and imagine that you're going into a cave and you see this little child. What is she saying to you? How does she feel? And just kind of connecting with that child and bringing her. I think the meditation I had was to talk to her and then see what she wanted, and then also cross the bridge, but also being able to say goodbye to her and move on, but also to let her know that you have a free space here and that I will always come visit you. And I think that meditation can really help you see your inner child and really see what they want, but also making sure that you are giving space for them to be them, but also letting them know that like, I'm always here if you need to talk, and I'm also here and I will always come visit you, if that makes sense. I know this is like kind of, I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but I hope you know. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. The last thing that really helped me heal my inner child was journaling. I feel like sometimes writing it down, you're able to really see your thoughts and see how you can work on them. So writing the letter really helped me. Writing down how I'm feeling, how my inner child is feeling, writing a letter. I feel like that really helped me just kind of see what's inside my brain and how I can work on them. And then also there's a bunch of like different prompts that you can find on the internet, on Pinterest, to kind of really dive deep into healing your inner child, seeing how your inner child is. And yeah, I feel like healing your inner child can make you super aware and also just so much happier, because your inner child is awesome and you need to praise her, let her be free. So I feel like healing my inner child, I'm just so much lighter, so much happier, and so much more giggly, happy, and I have so much more fun now. And I don't know, I feel like I was able to work through my trauma, my different traumas when I was a child, and different aspects of my life, and I'm able to look at my past in a better way. Not that it was fully miserable. I had a really great childhood, but I was able to kind of, patch up the little cracks in my past, and I'm able to look forward in a better way, because my past is not seen as something dark, something heavy, because I worked through my past traumas and I've been able to heal my inner child. So yeah, those are kind of the things that I did to kind of heal my inner child, let them be free and bring awareness to my child. And yeah, I hope that this kind of can help you start your journey on healing your inner child, or your self-care journey, or taking better care of yourself. I hope this was somewhat helpful. I hope I explained myself better. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This was also another talkative video, so hopefully you grabbed some popcorn. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I promise that not all episodes are going to be talkative. This season, I've been really just diving deep into my inner self and my inner child and my brain. And I feel like this season is way more focused on inner work instead of like the outside self-care, if that makes sense. So hopefully this was somewhat helpful, and yeah, I hope you guys start your healing journey. I sure did, and it's been one of the best things I could have ever done for myself. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Comment down below any other episode you guys would want to see from me. I love you guys so, so much, and I'll see you guys in another episode. Bye.